Welcome back to the Extra Point. So here, I want to talk about a little bit of a heartwarming story. So last Monday, Eric Chuplunsky had the moment of his life. The team manager for my hometown Lacey Lions scored a hat trick on his senior night against the rival Central Regional Golden Eagles. Eric was unfortunately diagnosed with cerebral palsy, a disease that affects movement and muscle tone or posture, but Eric never lets this change who he is. He also plays his favorite sport in the Brick Stars Challenger League. The high school team has really changed who he is, and the players on the team mean everything to him. The Lacey Lions ice hockey team has changed Eric's life. They always include him in everything they do. Eric's parents were extremely humbled by the outpour of support for their son. The Chuplunsky family, who has been season ticket holders for the New Jersey Devils for years, were surprised by the Devils organization last Tuesday as they were honored at their game against the Montreal Canadiens and even gave Eric his own customized jersey. When something like this happens, it really brings a community together. And these types of situations really remind people why sports are so important and why we all need sports in our lives. Here are some highlights from Eric's career game.
Eric doesn't give up when he wants to do something. He just tries and tries until he can do it. He's always wanted to skate, and he doesn't let anybody tell him he can't do something. He just tries hard until he can do it.
I heard something the other day where the kids look up to him, and it goes both ways, and it makes people better, and the friendships that he has with these people and coaches, and what everybody does is amazing.
It's been life-changing for Eric. It really has been. The teammates have completely changed Eric's life. They have given him confidence. He's made friends. They take him out for pizza. They've taken him to Applebee's. He went to the prom with some of them. And they've just given him a social life that he never really had before. Very, very happy. Hard to explain. Very humbled. That's a good word. Very humbled.
Let's go!
We never in a million years thought that he'd be out in a regular high school game. This opportunity is just something that we can never thank the team, the coaches from Central for giving our son this opportunity. It's something we never thought would happen. It's just amazing.
Come on, Eric!
What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the Underdog segment of this week's episode of The Extra Point. Unfortunately, our associate producer, Eddie Atkinson, could not be with us tonight, so I'm your host for tonight's segment, Nick Presto. So the first things that we're going to talk about today is the dunk contest. Joining me today, we have Jake Rossino and Ben DeVito. So, boys, the dunk contest is one of the biggest events of All-Star Weekend. Obviously, probably the most highlighted and most fun.
Definitely.
The contestants of this year's dunk contest will be Aaron Gordon, Derek Jones Jr., Pat Connaughton, and Dwight Howard.
Correct.
The betting odds are Aaron Gordon plus 125, Derek Jones Jr. plus 150, Pat Connaughton plus 450, and Dwight Howard plus 500. So, Jake, I want to hear your opinion first on who you think the voters should go for.
Who I think realistically is going to win this is Aaron Gordon. I mean, yes, he's got the best odds, plus 125. He's won it in the past before. He proves he still has the hops he had.
He's never won it.
Yes, he did. Did he not win it?
No, he didn't.
Never lost.
He lost
Zach
Levine.
Zach
He's
Levine
right. He
beat
lost.
him.
He's
Zach
never won
Levine.
a dunk
Sorry,
contest.
I'm sorry. He's lost, but he's proven he can get to the finals. He has it in him. He has plus 125 odds, which may not be the greatest. But my value pick is Dwight Howard. Do I think he's going to win? No. But at plus 500, I feel like if he does a dunk tribute to Kobe Bryant, the voters kind of have to give him the win. So if he does that, I think he's going to cash in as plus 500 underdog, to win it all.
See, I was thinking the same thing. If Dwight Howard does something for Kobe, for the city of Los Angeles, there's definitely going to be kind of like the nostalgia, you know what I mean? So, like, I definitely think that Dwight Howard has a shot. But my pick is the Miami Heat forward.
I knew you were going to say this.
Derrick Jones Jr. with the plus 150 odds. I just don't think Aaron Gordon has it. He's never won that.
He deserved to win that.
He deserved it,
deserved
but
to
he
win
never
that.
won it. But I feel like he's kind of past his dunking prime. He's done everything he could that would wow the crowd.
only up from here.
The year after he was in that battle against Zach LaVine, he was out in the first round of the dunk contest because he couldn't convert any of the dunks. So I definitely think Aaron Gordon shouldn't be the favorite. Derrick Jones Jr. has probably the highest bounce in the NBA. This man couldn't jump.
Yes.
So I definitely
Hamidou
think...
Diallo is the best bounce in the league.
Okay, I agree. And Pat Connaughton has no business.
He has no
being-
business being
He
here.
has
Hey,
no business.
don't sleep on Pat Connaughton.
I'm
You
not
never
sleeping
know.
on him.
You
Look,
never
in this-
know. It's the dunk
White
contest.
guys can't jump. It's fantastic.
He can
move,
come
yeah.
out with something.
In this class, for the dunk contest, he has no contest being there.
Well, I personally believe, as much as it pains me to say this, I'm going to go with Ben's pick of Derrick Jones Jr.
Okay.
I believe that like you said, he has the best hops. But other than that, with athleticism, I just feel like Derrick Jones Jr., he may only be a plus 150, plus 125 difference with Aaron Gordon. But in the long run, I feel like it's going to be a lot of a difference because Derrick Jones Jr., I believe, is the clear-cut
You
favorite.
think it's going to be significant?
I think it's going to be easily Derrick Jones Jr. is
Wow.
going to walk away with this thing.
I agree.
Easily.
But who do you think is going to be in the finals? Because obviously they're going to split it up.
It's going to be Derrick Jones Jr. and Dwight Howard.
Okay, you think Aaron
Wait, so
Gordon's going to have a
you think
first
the
round
first-
exit again?
Yes.
You think Aaron Gordon, Derrick Jones are going to be together? Or do you think Aaron Gordon... Oh, okay, yeah, obviously. So Aaron Gordon versus Derrick Jones and Pat Connaughton versus
No,
Dwight
that's not
Howard.
how it is. It's just
How is it?
top,
No.
it's just top scores.
It's just
Oh, that's
top
right,
scores.
that's
It's
right,
top
I'm sorry.
scores.
I don't know what I'm
Yes.
talking about right now.
Yeah.
But now also,
Terrible
moving
format.
aside from the dunk contest, there is another event that happens in All-Star Weekend, the three-point contest. So this year's contestants will be the reigning champion, Joe Harris, coming back to defend his crown with a plus 475 odds. Devin Booker at plus 500 odds. Trae Young at plus 500. Davis Bertans at plus 550. Duncan Robinson at plus 550. Buddy Hield at plus 650. Devontae Graham at plus 900. And Zach LaVine at plus 900. So, Ben, I'm going to let you start this one.
Okay.
How do you feel about this year's three-point
So,
contest?
personally, I believed before today that Duncan Robinson was going to run away with it because he just has the three-point shot. He's insane. But after today's announcement that Devin Booker has replaced Damian Lillard in both the All-Star game and the three-point contest, I think Devin Booker could win it. He's on a revenge tour. He's on a revenge tour. He's going to want to prove to everybody why he should have been picked and he shouldn't have been snubbed. But an underdog, quote the segment of the
Let
show.
me hear this. Let me hear this.
Zach LaVine plus 900 odds. That's disrespectful.
Let me
That's
throw.
disrespectful to Zach
I was
going
going
to
to say Zach LaVine, too.
I wanna
That's
say
a
something.
disrespect.
To all the bettors out there,
All the
do
bettors.
not sleep.
Do not take Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine and Devonta Graham have no business being here. They have inflated odds
Zach
for a
LaVine-
reason.
Zach
They
LaVine
have
scored
no
13
business.
three-pointers in one game and
He
won
did
in the
it
game
once.
against Charlotte.
He did it once.
I guarantee you he can catch
He
fire in
is
the
the
three-point
most
contest.
spotty three-point shooter.
I
in the league.
guarantee you he'll catch
He
fire.
and Devonta Graham have no business being here. In my opinion, the best value in this is Buddy Hield at plus 650.
Really?
Buddy Hield, like you said, can get on fire. Buddy Hield, once he catches fire, he is wet.
But will he be on fire for the All-Star weekend?
I don't think he's going to win. My pick is Devin Booker at plus 500. Not
Okay.
only because it's great.
Okay.
There's great value in every pick because there's really no clear-cut favorite. Plus 500 and plus 475 as a favorite is very high. So, I mean, there's good value in every single pick here. But as the best value, in my opinion, like I said, Buddy Hield plus 650. That's the third worst odds. I think if he gets hot, no one's stopping him. But I'm going with Devin
There's
Booker.
someone else that we're overlooking. I don't know who you were going to pick.
Duncan Robinson.
No. Trae Young.
I was going to say Trae Young. I believe, as much as I would love Joe Harris to repeat as champion, I feel like this year it is Trae Young. Trae Young has been an absolute machine this year, shooting the ball, absolute lights out, almost 30 points per game, hitting threes from Curry range like it's nothing. So in my opinion, I believe Trae Young is going to win it. So guys, to wrap it up, Ben, you believe that the Heat are going to sweep the All-Star weekend?
No, I didn't say that.
You're crazy.
No, I think Derrick Jones and not Duncan Robinson and Devin Booker.
All right,
Okay.
well,
I got Aaron
we'll
Gordon,
see.
and the only one to have him mentioned in a Drake song, Wet Like a Book. He deserves to
all
be
right,
there.
relax.
He's won
And
it before.
I will be taking Derek Jones Jr. and Trey Young. Thank you guys for tuning into this segment here on Underdog on Extra Point. We'll be right back with a second segment after this.
What's up, guys? Ben DeVito here for another edition of the Extra Point Play of the Week. My pick for Play of the Week goes to Bogdan Bogdanovic in probably the most disrespectful play I have ever seen in my life. Here it is, my Play of the Week. Donovan Mitchell inbounds the ball, passes to Bogdan, Kristaps Porzingis presses him in the far corner. And now, here comes the most disrespectful thing I've ever seen in my life. He goes in between the legs of Kristaps. Here, let's watch that again. He goes in between the legs to free himself, and he goes out back to the top of the key. He resets, and he draws the double from Kristaps, passes off to Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert slams the ball. That, my friends, is my Play of the Week. Enjoy the rest of the show.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a unique mix of all kinds of things.
Come on, Jules, spot on this last one. There it is. Keep going with it. Leo.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love.
What's up, guys? Ben DeVito here for the debate portion of the Extra Point. I'm alongside Jake Racino, Jack Kroll, as we are going to discuss if the XFL will be a sustainable league and a good alternative to the NFL. So, guys, what do you think?
I'll let him go first.
Absolutely not. Listen, y'all remember the AAF? I don't. No one does, because once the NFL comes back, no one cares about other leagues, and it's honest. No one really follows the Canadian Football League because no one cares about Canadian Football League.
Because this is America.
This is America. Even though it's televised, no one cares about it because NFL is king and college is second up. No one's going to care about some run-of-the-mill league that has players you've never heard of and playing with weird rules, which you can say they're fine, cool, whatever. There's only 8 teams, so I mean, there's not many games to watch.
Okay.
First off.
That's true.
Second off, once the NFL comes back, no one's going to remember, hey, remember the XFL game from Week 2 when the Guardians played the Battlehawks? No one's going to remember that.
They're playing the Defenders.
Oh, excuse me, the Defenders. I'll give them that. They got pretty cool names, but no one's going to remember this league. It's going to be like this. It's got better rules than the first time the XFL came around. Don't get me wrong, but no one's going to watch it because it's just not – it's not football season.
See, and that's where you're wrong because I think
where I'm
there's
wrong.
football fans crave football during the offseason.
do.
I mean,
They
it
need to
happens. It
hibernate.
happens with every sport, obviously. That like fans of certain sport, they crave the sport during the offseason. Like right now, I crave baseball. I'm not gonna lie, but and same thing with football. Right now, I crave football, and guess what? The XFL is still giving me football. I'm gonna continue to watch.
Jack, I have a
on the
question for you.
weekends.
You said you crave baseball. Have you ever tuned in to, I don't know, maybe a college baseball game? Have you ever tuned into, I don't know, maybe a Japanese baseball game? No, you haven't.
Japanese plays during the same season as the MLB.
But have you ever tuned into a game?
Not
No.
because when
Have you-
see, and here's why the XFL is going to be sustainable. They're playing at a different time than the NFL.
Okay, have you ever tuned into a college baseball game?
I have not, because college
You
is
have not, even though you're craving baseball, and college baseball starts in a couple days. You're craving baseball. That's a month before the MLB season starts. You don't watch any of it. Why not? Because it's not the major leagues, and XFL is not the NFL.
See, and I think here's the thing that people are going to look at also, is because the different rules that the XFL has implemented, which I think are a lot better than some of the rules that the NFL currently has. Obviously, some of them you could disagree with, and that's up for discussion. But I think kickoffs are going to be a lot better and a lot safer for players, which I think is a very good and important aspect. Where the XFL has it, where both teams line up on the 30 and the 35, and then no one can start running until the player catches the ball. Also, another thing I think is very interesting is the 2 forward passes. So you could have one forward pass as long as it's behind the line of scrimmage, then that player can throw it to down the field, which I like a lot also.
What difference does that make between throwing behind you as long as it's behind the line of scrimmage? If it's behind the
Because
line
players aren't going to have to be as strict on to where they have to throw the ball.
yeah, but it's not really that big of a difference. You're still throwing it behind the line of scrimmage.
All right. Well, here's my opinion on the XFL. I think it's going to be sustainable. It's run by Vince McMahon. He already knows what failed when he hosted the league in 2001. So he knows what he can and cannot do. Also, like Jack was saying, fans crave football, and that's exactly what happened. 3.12 average million people watched the XFL games this entire weekend. The first game between the Defenders and Seattle Dragons outsold the entire AAF, the entire season, which shows that it's a profitable league. Like, people want to go watch XFL. People really didn't care about the AAF. I honestly think the XFL can last a couple years. It can be a league not like the AAF, not like USAFL. You ever heard of that?
No.
Exactly. Because that was in the 80s. But now it's easier for people to watch. It's easier for people to keep up with it due to social media. So I definitely think that the XFL can be sustainable. Also, the rules, awesome. I love the rules. The 2-minute warning, awesome. The play stops The clock stops after every play, both out of bounds and inbounds. But there's a 5-second runoff.
If it's inbounds.
If it's inbounds, yes. But either way, I really enjoy the fact that the XFL is making these rules that the NFL is scared to make.
I mean, I just think it's going to flop like the AAF. Yes, you said it was much more profitable, which it was. Its first weeks outsold the entire AAF. Not denying that.
No, the first game.
The first game outsold the entire AAF, whatever. But why did the AAF flop? Because people weren't interested in it. And the same thing's going to happen in the XFL. The AAF had huge hype coming into it. Like, whoa,
The XFL had 1,000 times more hype.
Yeah.
I don't know. The AAF was pretty big when people announced it. Like, whoa, the American Allegiance of Football, or whatever it was. It doesn't matter what it was, because it flopped. Remember, everyone remembers that first AAF game where there was that big hit on the quarterback and there wasn't a flag. After that, everyone's like, woohoo, the AAF's going to be a league to stay. And guess what? It wasn't. It had teams in cities that love football, and it still did bad. It had a Birmingham team in Alabama, which has never had a professional team. All they have is Alabama, Auburn. It had games in Memphis, Tennessee, love football. It had Dallas sports teams. It had Florida. It did not do well because it won't do well because it's not college or NFL.
And here's where I don't agree with you is because I think a great way to get fans involved and to get people involved is marketing. And I think that XFL
they've marketed very well.
Has marketed extremely well, and they have they have it on Fox, obviously, and we all know that AAF was on CBS, but they have it on Fox, which I think is it's the channel. Like when you watch NFL Sundays, you go to Fox. Like you don't.
Sometimes, I mean, I watch it on CBS.
But you normally an NFL fan is going to go to Fox right away or Red Zone, but obviously the AAF doesn't have or the XFL doesn't have Red Zone.
Also, you said the marketing has been awesome, which I agree, because they're marketing guys like Landry Jones, Matt McGloin, and Cardell Jones. I mean, Cardell, out of those names, you probably know Landry Jones from being the backup for the Steelers, or Cardell Jones for being, quarterback for Ohio State, won a national championship. But these guys never had success in the NFL. But the XFL is marketing these guys like they're Super Bowl champions. They're marketing like, hey, these are our top guys, and they're going to be an outstanding players to watch. So I think the XFL is going to succeed. That's just me.
Well, I mean, the AAF had some, I wouldn't say big names, but they definitely had people. I mean, they had Trent Richardson, former Heisman winner, failed in the NFL. No, he failed in the AAF as well.
Because he's not a good football player.
He
wasn't a good
He was
football
a
player.
Heisman winner in Alabama, Roll Tide. But he just did not do well in the pros. And I just feel like the XFL it's going to last a full season. Next year's no one's going to care about it. In year 3, it's done. That's just my opinion. It won't even go to a year 3. After next year, it's going to get canceled. Vince McMahon's going to realize it's been a mistake. It's not good to have another league besides NFL or NCAA, and that's just the way it is.
See, but here's my thing. Vince McMahon has learned from his mistakes with the past league of the XFL in 2000. He cared more the entertainment value more than the actual game. He had, like cheerleader cameras, like people going into the cheerleaders' locker room. They had a hot tub in the end zone.
And see, here's the thing too that I like about with the XFL, how close they are with the players. Like, I mean, there was interviews in week 1 right after a player. I think he fumbled the ball, or I think he fumbled, and they interviewed him right after. Like, I love that. Like, that amount of entertainment, and he is focusing on the entertainment, but he is so much more focused on the game this time around, and that's why I think the league's going to be sustainable.
All right, well, I got nothing more to say. Guess we'll have to wait and see.
Well, that does it for the debate portion of the Extra Point. Stay tuned for more. See you next time.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere. And just growing up the way I grew up, and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool. To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back, everyone, to the second segment here on The Underdog, on your best show for the sports, The Extra Point. I'm your host once again, Nick Presto. I'm still joined here by Jake Racino and Ben DeVito, of course. So now, for this segment, we're going to talk about the betting odds for college basketball. There are 4 main games in question for tonight that we are here to point out. So the first one will be number 21 Iowa at Indiana. The spread is Indiana by -2.5. Jake, do you feel like that'll cover it?
I feel like Indiana is trash. Indiana is 10-13 against the spread, while Iowa, I did not write it down, but they are better than 10. No, I'm sorry. Iowa's 14-7-3 against the spread. So they know how to cover. The line, like you said, it moved to 2.5 favorite toward Indiana. Indiana is not a very good school. They're unranked. Iowa's number 21, and they're an underdog. However, so far in college basketball, we've seen a lot of upsets, but I'm sticking with upset in the spread, but the favorite, the ranked 21 Iowa is going to be Indiana. I don't know if they're going to – I'm going to say they'll win by 5.
Okay. Win by 5. Ben, your take?
I don't think Indiana's going to cover. They've lost the last 4 games outright and against the spread. So Betting for Indiana is never a good idea these past 4 games. Also, Iowa, like Jake said, is 14-7-3 record against the spread. So they have a pretty solid record, and they're ranked. So I'm going to go Iowa. I wouldn't bet on this game for Iowa.
So for
I wouldn't bet on this game for Indiana.
For all of you out there, we all agree, do not take Indiana. Iowa is going to come into Indiana, wipe the floor with them. They're definitely Iowa's going to cover the spread, no problem, and that's going to be the end of that. So go Iowa for that one. So the second game, we have a much more talented matchup, much more close, I feel like it would be, with number 16 Colorado visiting number 17 Oregon. Oregon has a -4 spread. Ben, I'll start with you this time. What do you think on this spread?
I wouldn't bet Oregon either.
No.
They've lost back-to-back games, both against the spread and outright.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
I personally don't think it. And plus, Colorado has a 12-10-1 record for the spread, so that's pretty better than Oregon, and Colorado's ranked higher. So again, don't bet on Oregon, bet on Colorado, and Colorado's winning the game.
Okay, speaking of that, the spread actually moved to 5 points, Oregon favorite. Oregon's 13-10 against the spread. Colorado's 12-10-1. Very similar there. The total is 135.5. Oregon's offense has struggled pretty badly these last 2 games. I think Colorado +5 underdogs. I think they're going to win. Take the over 135. Colorado, in my opinion, they put up 85 points this game. Hot take. Oregon loses. Colorado 16 beats 17 as an underdog.
Now, I believe that I'm not going to take the away team. You guys are taking the away team here on both games so far. I'm going to take the home team this time. I'm going to take Oregon. I feel like they're going to snap this little cold funk that they're in right now. They're going to definitely win the game and clear the spread of, you said -5 now, correct? -5 spread. They're going to win by 6 at least, I'm saying. Okay. Oregon is going to win that game. Okay. Now we have a bit of a lopsided game for number 3. We have the Memphis Tigers visiting the Cincinnati Wildcats. Okay. The spread is Cincinnati by -6.5. So I'll start with this take. I'm going with Cincinnati. I just feel like Cincinnati is going to outplay them and run them out of the gate right off the bat. I'm taking Cincinnati. They're going to win by double digits, and they're going to cover the spread.
Okay, Memphis, Cincinnati, as I mentioned, -6.5 favorites. However, Cincinnati is 10-13 against spread, while Memphis is 13-9. So Memphis is a very good team. Against spread. Cincinnati's going to win the game, don't get me wrong, but they're not going to cover. I think it's going to be like a 2 to 3 point win. Take Memphis +6.5, and take the under 136. I feel like it's not going to be very high scoring.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. I think Cincinnati is going to win the game. Memphis lost their best player in James Wiseman to this whole NCAA controversy. So they haven't been the same since.
But even without James Wiseman,
they're
still 13-9 against spread.
Yeah, they're still solid. But I wouldn't trust Memphis in this game. Memphis is away. They're at Cincinnati. So I expect Cincinnati to win, but not cover the spread.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay. And now our last game for the night will be Wichita State traveling to Central Florida to take on the Knights. The spread is Wichita State by -2.5. Ben, what's your thoughts on this?
You know what? I don't trust Wichita. They're 10-11-2 against the spread, while UCF is 12-11. So I'm going to go UCF on the +2.5.
Okay. I also agree with that. I think UCF, like you said, is a better team against the spread. They're 12-11, like you said, compared to Wichita State's 10-11-2. I'm finally going to take a home team in UCF Knights. You know, it's about time. I've picked 3 away teams so far. I'm taking the underdog at home, UCF, to win out. Well, already win outright if they're an underdog. They're going to win, 5-point win, total 134. Take the total as well. UCF wins.
I'm going to take the favor here. I'm going to take Wichita State is going to win this game and is going to cover it. I believe that, in a way, even though they are favorited, I feel like they are the underdog because it's such a very close spread, and they're also the away team.
Fair.
So, as light of the segment, the name of this show, the underdog, I'm going to take Wichita State and thinks that they will win. Okay. So there's your games. We will be taking, we said Iowa, we said Oregon and Colorado splits, Cincinnati and Memphis splits, depending on, you know, your beliefs of not being a high-scoring game with the under especially. And Wichita State and UCF was kind of a split. So voters, bettors, we've given you guys a little bit of our insight, but that is all the time we have for this second segment here on the Underdog on the Extra Point. Thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for more of the Extra Point.